Welcome back to Race Control. It has been an incredible 24 hours for the Volvo Ocean Race teams, now about halfway from Abu Dhabi to Sanya. They finally got really good breeze yesterday, and we saw a huge compression of the fleet overnight in the lee of Sri Lanka. We'll take a look at that soon on the race tracker, and we'll talk to Team Brunel navigator Andrew Cape. But first, let's take a look at some of this amazing footage of what it's like to be on a Volvo Ocean 65 in solid breeze.
Finally! Finally!
It's nice to go 20 knots again. Pointing at the mark. The water's like 30 degrees. It doesn't really matter if you get wet. Probably a good thing, stops us smelling too much. And now, just did a sail change, so it's dinner time.
At the end there, you could see Parko doing some incredible gymnastics to get out to the clue for the sail change. Let's see now what it looks like for a sail change on the bow on board Dongfang Race Team, the leaders now.
Extérieur tout là.
If you can imagine, my food bowl is Sri Lanka, so it's quite a high island. And then the shoe here is mainland India. The light beam here is the wind that you can see, and then the shadow is areas of no wind. So between the two islands here, we had a good acceleration of pressure yesterday, so it was really fast and fun conditions. And then basically as we got towards the island, we came into the wind shadow and the pressure dropped gradually into the evening, and sort of 3 to 4 knots of boat speed, a lot of peels, sail changes, no sleep, stacking, basically endless and an excessive uses of the French language. We also had a bit of more stress because obviously the boats that were behind us were still in the stronger breeze, and they were coming into us at a rate of knots. We managed to keep the boat moving well and come out of the other side of the island into the more solid pressure we have now. And basically the boats behind us parked up in the same area we did, so we lost quite a lot, and then we basically gained a lot. So we've come out sort of as we were when we went in, so all's good at the moment. It was nice to get past that big obstacle.
Newbie Jack Boutel gave us a pretty good description of what the Sri Lanka lee was like. Let's take a look at how it actually happened on the virtual eye tracker. As the teams went to pass Sri Lanka overnight, Dongfang Race Team pushed south, fearing they'd risked too much cutting the corner too close. And perhaps they had, as their lead vanished from 30 miles to about 8 when they sailed below the 3,000-meter cliffs. Dongfang were able to make it out first, though, but Team Brunel and Abu Dhabi not so lucky, with Mopfre and Team Medica gaining back the 30 miles they were behind. On board Mopfre, the mood is happy as we hear from silver medalist Rafa Trujillo. Definitely not new to sailing, but new to Mopfre this leg.
The ridge conditions are nice. It's a little bit wet, but because the temperature is so high that it's actually really good to have a little bit of spray, because we are all with the weather gear that is a little bit designed for more winter condition and more sweat a lot. But we are here with flighting with Abu Dhabi and Medica, one windward, one leeward, and we need to all the time trimming the sail for keep the boat going, because it looks that everyone has the same waypoint, and all we want to arrive first.
He may have a crazy hat on, but they definitely have a fighting spirit on board Montfray. Navigator Andrew Cape actually sailed and won this leg with the Spanish team in the last Volvo Ocean race. So we called him on board Team Brunel today to see if the compression overnight had shaken up their team at all.
What else can you do? You got to accept it. I mean, there's nothing else you can do. That's life. As a team, you got to take the good with the bad, and bad happens, and then good happens sometimes. So bad is bad, and good is good, and that was bad. So you just got to get on with it. Get on with the next thing.
That should be a KP saying we write on the wall, the bad is bad and good is good. So what's the plan from here now that everyone's so close and so consolidated?
Well, just on a sail change, the breeze is dying now as it gets into the evening here. The sun's has gone down, so it's lovely little twilight. It's going to die, the breeze is going to recede more, and we're going to end up pretty much parked tomorrow and probably for another 36 hours. So it's still early days in terms of racing, so the fleet will compress again, and that'll be one of several that'll happen even before Singapore. So there's a lot to happen yet. So plenty of golf left in this course.
Actually, if you were to compare this to a golf course, what hole are you on now compared to the rest of the leg?
On the hole, not that I play golf, but we're only in the early stages really, even though we're almost to 50% of the distance through the race, or through the leg. And we've got a lot of light spots to get through, and a lot of difficult weather. So we've got to arrive in Indonesia in a good place, not disastrously behind, and then I think it's all to play for from then. The Malacca Straits, I'm sure we'll see every boat in the fleet right there.
As KP said, even though they're halfway now, they're pretty early stages in the race. The next 48 hours will be quite light again, as the teams fight a low-pressure wave between them and their next goalpost, the entrance to the Malacca Strait. With a fleet this tight, anything can happen, and they're only halfway to Sanya. We'll leave you now and see you next time on Thursday for the Inside Track.